What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Alex EFE, and today we have another market watch. So been a little while since I've done these, so I definitely owe you guys one. And the market's hot right now, and it's really a decent market overall. It's not a flippers market, it's not a scalpers market, and I'm going to show you why for a couple different reasons. I'm going to explain what happened to a lot of these sets, but stay tuned because we do have a couple value picks in this one. I actually lined a couple things up and made a couple purchases myself on some of these, so I'm definitely going to recommend you do, maybe the same thing, tail me on that. But let me know what you think on it when we get to that point. But without further ado, let's hop right in. If you guys are interested in purchasing any of the cards you see here today, use the link down in the description. Helps me, absolutely no cost to you. Thank you in advance. Definitely appreciate that. But hopping into it, Cooling Heart Eureka. This is like the third, I think, reprint. Third or fourth, maybe. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Still at a very high price point, and it is what it is with this card. I feel like it's kind of natural. When this first came out, Yuika's went down to about $16. I think they were kind of floating around there anyway. Vanguard reprints have shown us like time and time again, they're not in it to devalue the cards, they're in it just to kind of get the market supply up a little bit, and these aren't being opened to the point where it's like flooding the market necessarily. Yu-Gi-Oh will go and like reprint a staple and a common in like a trial deck equivalent with their structure decks. Vanguard doesn't really do that. I think with this upcoming reprint set, we will see a lot of demand for it. I don't know if this is in there. I don't remember what's in that off the top of my head, but I think that this is going to kind of stay above the $20 price range. I don't know that it's going to stick around $25 in the long run over the next couple months, but right now, $25 for the foreseeable future is a very realistic kind of price point. Next up over here, One Night Witch Strega. So this is an interesting card because I feel like this was kind of overhyped in a lot of ways and just kind of presented to be a card that's used in a lot of different decks. And granted, it is a great option for a lot of different decks, but at the same time, not 1000% necessary, but it's just like the most ideal card, and it's not 100% necessary to a lot of those strategies in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, what else would you play? This is generically very, very good for what it does. It came out upon launch. It was about $17, $18, kind of settled around that $20 mark. I think it's going to be at that price point. There's one for 18. Yeah, a couple of them going for above 20. I think it's just going to settle at 20. I don't think it's going to go much lower. I don't think it's going to go much higher. So I think this is, it's completely up to you. If you want to get rid of them, it is what it is. If you don't want to, you can definitely hold it. And I think it will retain its value. Next up, Vivid Night Festival Aurelius. I think this is a really interesting kind of take on this because this over here, this, what was it? The Sharmat kind of deck kind of not took everybody by surprise, but it just naturally built a lot of hype and it started to be good. People will see it's a very easy deck to play, has results, has just a very cohesive kind of play style. I think this is a really good deck, and this is the triple rare that kind of saw the value of it increase tremendously. I mean, upon launch it was around that $5 kind of price range, and now it is all the way up to $17. Playsets are being bought, copies are being bought for $20 overall. I think it's going to be settling around here. I could see it dropping off a little bit once the next meta kind of picks up. I wouldn't purchase this right now. Maybe I would definitely wait for Shiranui to see what it kind of does to this set in general. But over here, another card. This card is used in premium. So with Highlander, this unit is placed on rear guard. Choose one of your opponent's front row. May return it to hand. Boom, call it down with a G guard, pop something on your opponent's board. Feels pretty good in a lot of different ways, so I don't think people really caught on to that. All of a sudden, I got my copies, and then all of a sudden, boom, it shot back up to like $15, $16. Super good. Again, triple rares, generic ones that can work and slot into multiple different things are always going to be very good investment in the long run, in my opinion. Card that, again, same kind of philosophy mentality. This was an $8 card, Rainbow Jeweled Beast Alparius, whatever how to say it, I don't know, but the one that puts the two cards basically back in the ride deck, gives you shield, go and searches your Vanguard from the drop or whatever. Basically, this was, again, another $8 very cheap card. Not cheap in general, but a more reasonable card. It's gone up to $13, $17. So market price right now, $13.98. It's exceeding that for around $4, $18 plus. We're going to get into very dangerous territory with this card pretty soon. I feel like these staples shouldn't have been kind of like triple rares. It's like, it's hard to print it at that ratio, and every deck pretty much needs one or two copies of it at most. Sharmat itself, I kind of mentioned, it's very expensive. This was, again, like a $5 card. Yeah, $5, $6. You can get into pretty much any of the decks that you wanted for around that price. Now we see that people want to play this. It's over $10 for this, so $9, $8, $12.99. Market price $10.18. We see listings for around that $9 price range, but this definitely kind of jumped it from being like a fairly budget kind of deck all the way to, you're in for over $100 if you want to get a full deck kind of going with this over here. So just interesting to see how fast this set really did mature. Same thing with Siana. It's pretty much the same exact. I'm not going to really repeat everything I just said. $3, $4. Oh, it's a BS strategy. It's not really great. Not really great. 3 attacks. This deck is good. This deck is good in the right hands and the right person who understands other decks, understands how to play into them on the fly, and likes to disrupt their opponent. Anything where you have to make your opponent think that like what their strategy kind of is not going to go as smooth as they kind of planned it or practice it. That muscle memory goes away. All of a sudden, they don't know what they're doing. So this is actually a very solid deck for Sienna, up to $9 expensive. Prisms kind of maintain that like $5-6 kind of price range. It was a little bit cheaper. It kind of goes up. Again, this set is just maturing. I would say pick up these copies while you still can for this price range. I could see these shooting over $10, even though there are quite a few copies over here. If you're interested in this deck, the rest of the support is fairly cheap outside of maybe the older stuff for this. So I would pick this up, and if you do come into that kind of stuff later, even if you don't have it, I think it's in the long run going to pay off. But Color Bop Dragon, if you watch my Kyrie deck profile, you're going to see this was like $1 when I was talking about that, and I was like, guys, go pick this up. Like, even if you're not playing Kyrie, like, it's going to be good in the long run. The grade 4 thing, inevitably, maybe they'll have like another grade 4, I think personally, but it's just solidly super generic. Maybe it'll have premium implications. There's just so many aspects to this card where I think you should be picking it up. And again, even for $4, $5, like having a playset handy, I know it's not convenient to say that about like all these different cards, but if you are into these clans, I think having these generics, it's just super important. Get them at a decent price. You can get them for about $20. Like, it is what it is at this point, but I would definitely pick them up. And Kyrie herself has kind of shot up. Market price of $13. We see listings going for $16, $16, $17. Listings right now, if you want to place that, you are in for almost about $100. Kind of crazy at the end of the day to think that this card is still kind of demanding that kind of value overall, but like I said, there's not much else you can do at this point about it. Hop and Stellar Melty, there are a lot of different versions of this, but I did want to look at this, but it is back up to $15 pretty much per copy. Only one listing out of the Festival Booster special, and then a couple listings obviously out of the original one. This is a great card. So generic, again, very good. People prefer this in Kyrie. People put this in some other things too. Obviously the Friends deck itself. This just slots in and is a very solid card overall. Extends your plays. Generically decent in the long run. I want to go into the set because I don't think I actually went separately. Let's see if the Lyrical Monasterio should be towards the top. Oh my god, let's actually dive into the set for a sec because I kind of forgot. Festival Booster Box, $95. The value in the set is crazy. Not saying buying that sealed. Do not buy this sealed. For $95, you might hit something you want. You might not. It is just crazy. Valshrivan, $55 with 2 listings. Deeply Laid Stratagems, Sagus needs to get reprinted. These generic grade 3 things, I think, just need to be reprinted. I don't know what they were thinking when they printed that skill. Absolutely insane. Eureka we went over. Night of Inheritance, Ameline, Halbay, still expensive. The blue OT is going for $54 with 2 listings. This is the only printing of that card. This is a necessary card in premium and in standard. It's just so crazy to me. Transfer, 18. Thorbidel Surrogate, 52. This is a wild set. If you have sealed product, if I'm talking to any vendors out there, I am cracking this product. I am selling these cards because this is absolutely insane. Even on the low end, you're still getting value out of the triggers. A lot of stuff here just still carries weight. The FFR of this stuff is not great, this and that, but if I'm on the second page and I'm still in the $5 kind of territory, you're looking at a good value here. And a lot of these cards, are kind of dead towards the back end, but like the upside of this is insane, especially if you are a vendor and got it for vendor pricing on this. I think that you will definitely go plus if any of that's left, which I don't think there's much in general. Over here, another kind of lyrical card that is just going nuts again because of A, I think Powerful with Herminia is decent, and then B, this is also in Sharamot. This card is insane. $30. It was going for $50. Like, I saw copies. Let's see if anything sold for around that $50 price range. Not really. I saw somebody listed it for it. Maybe it's still down over there. Yeah, $39. They probably adapted it, but at a point I saw there was no listings. There's like $50 something. It was crazy. Glad nobody bought that, at least on TCG Player. Don't let anybody scam you for these things. The hype will pass. I think in the next format you could expect to see this go down a little bit, but definitely a hype card right now. Absolutely insane. Another card that I was not really expecting to really maintain this level of value and kind of continue to be on this train is this over here. This is Nostria, I think that's how to say it. Lutetia has always been a decent deck, but not really doing too much right now. This is an older set at this point. I think everything out of the LBT 03 has kind of starting to really trickle up. And in a way, it sucks if you want to get into the deck, but this is going to be the theme of what I talked about and kind of going forward. I think from this point onward, natural growth or just value out of a set over time is okay. Hype buyouts, not okay. If you're trying to flip and like absolutely, quote unquote, collect your favorite card and then go and buy 100+ copies of it, coincidentally on the same day as the support is announced for Charmat or whatever it was in Japan. I mean, that's a little, whatever. I'm not saying to do that. I don't condone that, and I kind of judge a person for doing that. But things like this where it just kind of builds up over time, I think is fine, is natural. It's going to happen, especially in the history of this game's reprints, just not really shooting value back down. You can solidly invest into a deck, and for the most part, I think it's like, in the long run, you'll kind of hold on to your money. And same thing with this over here. Like, over time, people are now realizing Shiranui is good. I mean, not Shiranui. Shoujo Doji is pretty decent. In One World, I think there's a lot of hype around this right now at the moment. Yeah, it went from a 30-cent card back in January. Oh, guess what? One World, boom, shoots up to $7, $8. Clash of Heroes, if you're looking to buy sealed, I don't know if he's still running any of the sales. I don't think he is, but it's pretty cheap on like 50 cards. I'm not sponsored or anything. That's like a decent set to kind of go into, try to hit some of these, maybe hit some of the other stuff too. The glitters, it could be okay. They're like $20-something per box. It could be a recommendation right there. But yeah, this is natural kind of growth, a little bit of a hype doing this, but just again, sets kind of maintaining that value. This one over here, Flight of Chakrabarti, not a lot of great things out of the set, but this is definitely a very, very solid hit if you get this. $17.99 for a playset of this right there, 17, 16, selling for that over here, and yeah, about $20. Wow. $80 for a playset of this, kind of crazy. Again, these good generic things. This is great in Shiranui. I think it's used. I believe it is. Yeah, I think it's used in Shiranui. Tell me if I'm wrong, but going to be the best deck in the format. Almost near on a tier 1. I don't want to call it tier 0, but it's like tier 0.5. I don't know what to call it. Kind of meta. And this is a card used in there, so no doubt. Card that's kind of settling down, and a card that I wanted a couple more copies of. I unfortunately wasn't able to kind of get it at that sweet spot. I bought my playset, but then I wanted a second one. I bought it around that $3, $4. I was like, oh, you know what? Let me get a different one. Boom. It just like went up again. This is going to be the Red Eye of Governing Ruler, Lindikalikya, something like that. I don't know. Lindikalikya. 217, 270. Yeah, this card is being bought actively. I think this is good. Greedon is still good. I think this is used in some builds in Greedon. Amina Grigio is not really using this, but this is generically just like super solid, I feel like, overall for a lot of different mass decks, a lot of different things in general. So I really do like this card. I wish I actually got that second playset. Another card, again, generics seem to be the theme of this also. Sea Strike Dragon, Angerlove. So used in premium, used in standard. I think that this card is definitely at its appropriate value at this point. I wouldn't pay much more for $6, $7. You only need a copy or two, maybe at most. I don't know of any standard deck, at least, that run 4 copies of this. In premium, same deal, 1, 2. $6, $7. I think it was a super steal. I got it for like $1. I think, yeah, like $1.40, something around there for a playset or two. It's gone up to like $6.70. I don't think it should go much higher than that, but if you don't have these, I would say at least pick up like 2 if you're into this clan, if you're into anything that might be kind of using that before it potentially shoots up a little more. Conceited Noble Philander, I don't know what the deal is with this card. I really can't tell you why it is, but again, Flight of the Chakrabarti starting to mature the set. Boom, all of a sudden we see it jumping up from the $4 market price to about $10, and I think something is going on with this card. Clue me in. I don't know if it's like a Grand Blue thing or something else. Maybe it's Leonore, but I have no idea. So let me know why this card is shooting up, but I just wanted to make you aware of that, especially if you're holding on to it. I know a lot of people have had some of these and just never really used them. One of the value picks, this isn't the main one of the set or my whole video today, but I think this is a good time to kind of get into some of the Alden stuff. Super dirt cheap, very, very dirt cheap. I think this is probably one of the best cores you could pick up for under like $10. Maybe you're like $10, $15 all in. I would say farm the promos. The promos are good. I don't know that you need 4 in the deck. I'm playing it right now. I'm testing all the ratios. You need to see the promo, which is again like $15, $20. We're gonna get into that, but I think right now for $1, $2, like if you buy a playset of this guy, I think in the long run it actually could be generically decent Keter card. Keter Pile seems to be the deal for like 3-4 different decks in Keter Sanctuary. So this card, you might have all the staples you need for it, just slot it in, and I think it's worth it in the end, minus maybe the promo. A card that is, again, generic, that is going insane. This card over here, Bastion, it's used in, I think it's used in Luar, which is kind of driving up the price, but Jewel Beast Topaz, gone up from its $9 market price, which is already pretty high in my opinion, all the way up to $16 market price. Copies are going for a little bit over that, kind of under it, but we're not really seeing anything at that $16 price range. If you have these, if you want to sell them, now is a really good time to kind of cash in on the hype. If you want to buy them, I might wait. If you need them, it is what it is. As I always say, Dragon Tree Wretch, this is a card that's just held its value. We see it kind of fluttering, but I think it's going to stay around that $10, $12 mark until maybe something is reprinted for it. You can't even get a playset of this right now, so just wanted to bring up the scarcity of this card. And again, it is a very necessary card, very good card in general. Scarlet Flame, Martial Dragon, Gandiva. If I'm looking to get somebody into Dragon Empire and I want to show them a deck that's like not super expensive, I want to get my buddies into it, whatever, all the support for this is very cheap at this point. This has gone from like a meta titan banned out, quote unquote, to, you know, definitely like a playable tier. Maybe not the absolute best deck that it used to be, but has a lot of support and is very cheap. Again, this is another value pick. This is not the main one I'm going to talk about, but this, at this point, I think this is a great time to get into Gandiva. If you are trying to get like a buddy into the game and not have them play like absolute, you know, trial deck garbage out of the box right away, you know, for maybe $60, you're in for a really good time with that deck. I think you'll learn some good fundamentals and some basics of the game. Great Flame Axe, Ambitious Scales, Kolgaflan, I think that's how to say it. This card has shot up also. Look at these charts today. They're absolutely nuts. We are looking at a market price of $14. This guy is going for over that $4, over $6, $7. You can't even get a playset for under $80 over here. So very, very good card. I don't know if this is usually on me. To be honest, I've been burying my head in the sand. I am not looking forward to the Shiranui meta. I think just the cyclers in general are solid for all the clans. I'm glad I picked up some stuff for basically every clan with those cyclers. Youthberg, Rebel Form, Tempest. So this is going to get reprinted in that reprint set, but however, this is just tailing off already. Like, we're already seeing the preparation for it, anticipation of it. You don't need 4 of these anymore. You don't even need 3. Like, I forgot what the old ratios used to be. I think people are running 3 or 2 or something like that. I forget on the new Youthberg, but that along with the reprints have kind of started to bring this card down. This card has traditionally been staying at that 30 to above like $20. Like, I remember, let's look at the past year. This card's nuts, absolutely nuts. $60 actually. I was wrong. Yeah, I started looking at it when it was around 30. I actually updated my Youth Genesis list with this. That deck is actually pretty serious, I think, in my opinion. I might do a profile. Let me know if you want to see a profile down below. But $13 for that, you really can't complain if you need 2 copies of it. 4 copies, 12, yeah, $40, 40 something dollars. Like, might be decent to just get in on it. Honestly, I think that might be the move. Sylvan Horn Beast, Alpin over here, a card that traditionally has been all right, let's go through this. It traditionally was a fairly cheap card when it came out. Not too much. Magnolia didn't really do too much in general, but we've seen it creeping up, and it just dropped. So, like, we've seen the rise and fall of this card. This is a really hard card to, like, price effectively and really map it out, but Magnolia's not doing too much right now, but we did get some of the mask hype and grade 4 hype, grade 3, whatever it is, like the new one. I think with the promos, you might see this deck played a little bit more, and because of that, again, this is just an older triple rare at this time. Raging Flames, the Emerald Storm was like a weird set. I feel like people opened it a lot, but a lot of the cards are still very scarce. Maybe that's just because they're good cards, but definitely need this. Very solid card. I would say for $5 at this point with the volatility of this card, if you can pick up a playset, yeah, for $5.99, that's a decent price at this point, because then you're looking for over $40 for the next one up and for a playset, and I don't like that. Again, Raging Flames against the Emerald Storm. Carabri? That's how to say it. He's kind of gone back up too. I've seen him over the last couple months. Was really expensive, not really played. $8, got reprint in the Graham Gray stack. All of a sudden, $15 market price. We see people purchasing copies very recently. $27, $17, $16. Don't know what the deal is with this. I don't know if people are just updating Caterpiles in general or what the deal is, but that card is on the rise. Do with that information as you will. And this is time for the weekly promo rant. Promos are extremely bad for this game, in my opinion. Give us alternate art, give us things that, you know, are fun to kind of get out of tournament packs, not necessary staples for decks. Let's go over these staples over here. Parcia, I think, you know, this is the foil version. I'll give you that, whatever. Like, charge whatever you want for the foil version, as long as I can get the base rarity for a decent price. This is not a decent price, in my opinion. The main boss unit of your set is about $7 to $8. The promo card for a common, ugly looking card, not ugly, I'll say the art's actually very nice, but, you know, just common, whatever, like the foiling, there's no foiling on it. A common card in a deck, especially if you've blinged it, You have to pay a $30 difference just for the foil. Like, that is crazy. This is a deck that you've already invested in, already just have cards for. Messiah, also $20. Like, do these things really have to come out as promos? Elementaria, like, just so expensive still. Like, so many cards are just insanely expensive for promos. Mythiarch Habitat, basically used perennially in like every single year round, just every single Stoichi deck, and we see it for $17 here. It is distributed as like a one-time promo thing. It's just crazy to me that is the actual strategy. So I am, I apologize for these rants, but I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep saying how I feel about these cards. I think they're extremely annoying. They hamper players from playing what they want to play, buying what they want to buy. Just really annoying. Like, I know players who have been committed to certain decks, and they just, they don't want to shell out $50, $60, $80 just for a set of 4 commons. Like, I get it. I totally do. I do want to talk about this over here again, because I think this brings up like the use case. You can build the entire, like, a very functional Alden deck, but then you run into this promo. $11, $12 over here. It was super expensive. I think over time there'll be more listings, but like, it's still $12. I think that's going to settle for a while. Maybe I think the floor for this is about $8, somewhere around there. Just crazy that your main deck is less than a playset of just these promos alone. So I don't like that. That is my rant. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about that, but we're gonna move on. There is so much value in so many different premium products right now, and a lot of hot cards in general. These products have proven to be what Standard has done times like 10. Like, investing in an older Standard set, getting your playsets, triple rares, this, that, whatever, it's good. They might shoot up, might do this, might do that. In general, there is so much value on the top end of the set. Like, I'm gonna kind of, all right, let's actually go back, because most of these are SPs, and I don't like harping on the SPs. Me personally, I'm not like a huge bling out player, and like, if you are going to be invested in a clan, that's your one clan kind of thing, like, sure, like, go for it, balls to the wall. Again, Harmonix Messiah, I have to mention it, still terrible. Need additional reprints outside of just those sealed products coming out. I'm going to do a video series on those, by the way, too. Is it worth it to buy? I'm going to look at the actual monetary value, I'm going to look at the playability, look at all different factors, similar to Tolarian Community College if you watch Magic stuff. So I love his content, and I attempt to mimic something of it. I can't say I'm anywhere near that quality, but doing my own version of it for Vanguard, I guess. This is the big winner, I think, right now. This is my big recommendation. History Collection booster boxes, plenty of them for $35. Look around at the set. If you hit an SP, any of the SPs, you've already won. You hit a Harmonix Messiah, you've already won. You hit a Hanali and like one other thing, it's like crazy. You've already won. If you don't need these things, don't blindly go into it. But if you are looking for stuff, looking to round out maybe some of your collections, looking for some general value in general, like, there are so many, like, we're on the second, third page here, and I'm still, again, in that $5 kind of price range. Things are very lean on some of these as well. Like, just such great value across the board. We're on page 4 now. Here we start getting to more dollar stuff in general, but $5. This is just from the market price. I think there's a lot of mismatches here. Crazy value. Water Spout Gin is sold out. These cards were, let's look at this guy. This guy was going for, $10, $15. People are big on Grand Blue right now. Rightfully so. Very good deck, but there is just a ton of value in this set, and I think that making the purchase of one of these boxes for $35, if you scale that a bit, I think you're going to come out way positive in the long run. And I'm not here to say buy stuff just to flip, just to sell. I hate flippers, but things of that nature. But like, it is a solid value. That is really interesting that the regular version, the common version of the Overlord is out of stock. But again, same kind of deal here. Premium Collection 2022, I would say it's more worth it to buy the singles out of this, but the value on this and right now is just super prime, especially if you are looking to get some of those the higher rarity things. I think that in general, people already have their stuff. These are going to sit for a bit. I could see that happening, and these SRs are very nice foiling. The high end is expensive for this. Helltroot is expensive, but SRs for $10, $8, whatever. Like, if they're your clan, if you really like it, this is a great time to buy some of that stuff. And on the low end too, I think there's still some value in the cards. Yeah, $2. If I'm on the third page and I'm kind of in there, these aren't the biggest packs. There's not that much going on. In this in general, but I think you'll go plus buying this, but I think singles are just the way to go, especially if you're looking for like the high rarity stuff. Great value. This is a great set for players right now. I think that's the way I want to phrase my statement here. Something that isn't a great value for players. And again, nobody really has too much of this sealed. I wanted to take a look at this, not because of the prices and whatnot, but I wanted to more look at the crystal luster. $50 still. We saw the SRs even more right there. It's dropped off since the announcement of the reprint, but like not by much. Listed medium price is still 63, market price is still 53, and we're seeing it for that. There's copies of this on there. I really wish that they gave us more than one copy. I think they announced the G Zone. There's just one copy of it at the time of recording this video. Chain Rancor, same kind of thing. Bad Bounty's pretty expensive. There is a lot of value in this set, so I'm not saying this is priced appropriately. There is no kind of arbitrage to be had. I think $89 for this is, you know, unfortunately, just it is what it is. It's not going to go much further down. Let's go into another card over here. Premium Musketeer. I mean, not Musketeers. Musketeers are picking up a lot of steam in general because of the set, but premium in general, just Katrina, absolutely nuts. What am I thinking of? Asha. Oh my god, I couldn't say the name. Asha still super solid. You can bring this into Musketeers. Like both playstyles are very, very good. And this card, again, has only been reprinted back in 2019, and we are seeing copies of this spike up. It was around $17, $15. I think I got mine for like about $15, $20 each, something like that. $36 selling for. This deck, if you have like a completed Asha deck, I think I saw somebody the other day. I knew somebody who sold it for like $600. Like, that is insane to me. It is so crazy. I don't think it's worth that, but again, we're only getting one of those printed in the new product coming out, so it is what it is. Genesis Dragon Integral Messiah. I was playing with my buddy yesterday, and shout out to you, Ootman, Alec. He was playing Messiah, he was having a little fun on it, and I was like, you know what, I have like most of these cards anyway, like maybe I'll just toss it together. I went to go look at this card. I was like, oh wait, don't have this card. It is $64. I think this is the only printing. I don't think there's alternate rarities for this either. Maybe there are like one or two. I'm not 100%, but we see this just spike over time to market price of $44. Last one sold was literally yesterday, actually, for $64. That is crazy, Alec. That was not me, by the way. I know you told me to go buy it anyway, but that wasn't me. Yeah, $64. This is necessary in Messiah. You definitely need this card. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is 100%. This might not be your only way to win, but this is definitely in your arsenal to win. So definitely need that if you're playing Premium Messiah. And I know this video is dragging on a little bit, so Jewel Knight Sword Me promo cards. I'm going to see if it dropped down. I think we're only going to get one or two copies maybe of this. $21 price range, market price of $22. Still kind of around there. It hasn't really dropped in value, and I think we won't know until this set kind of gets fully announced with the cards that are included. So again, at the time of the recording, has not been revealed, so I'm sorry about that. A card that I think is primed to maybe get bought out and just kind of maybe spike in price. Selfie and Fright Sickle. Obviously, Murakumo's not the greatest clan right now in Premium. V, it's okay. It can do a lot of different things, and it has like a fun snake build in Premium. Also, shouts out Deck Player for giving me that list. Really appreciate you. Seems actually really fun to play. I might adapt it and just try it out. But this guy over here, it only has 2 listings. There's plenty of copy over at JP's Curtain Call. Great seller, by the way. Like, I always get his stuff. I think he's across the country, but I always get his stuff so fast to New York. So shouts out to you, big time, man. I think, you know, he's pricing this fair, which is great. Like, he's a good seller, like I said. But if there was somebody with a bunch of these copies to hit the market, you know, 3 play sets get bought out, all of a sudden the floor is wide open. There's only one printing of this. This is used in every single Stealth Fiend bet deck in V and Premium. This is always going to be included. So this could be a lot more. So maybe pick up your copies if you don't have already. Fenrir obviously won World. Shout out to you, Cormac, too. Thank you for commenting on my my other video discussing the problem with Worlds that exposed whatever the title was. This has also shot up. This was a card that I've been talking about for months. Like, I've always been on the Fenrir train for both V and in Premium. Also, I kind of liked it. I never was able to pilot it to like an extreme kind of proficiency, but I always thought it was like a really good like jack of all trades that in the right hands could do a lot. And I don't know him or anything, but I'm glad that, you know, somebody has proved that, like, yes, that is the case, and they absolutely won Worlds in Premium with it. So very good card, but it is spiking up, I think, because of that. We see people are purchasing this. People want to play their deck. They want to stall out. They want to do what they want to do their way, and only one printing of this. I don't think this one was reprinted. Let's check this out. No, yeah, it's just the G ones that are reprinted, and I don't think that's used in the list, if I'm not mistaken. There's a G Fenrir kind of list for a Premium. Go check out actually Deck Player's channel. I think he posted the list. He and 50 Cards made that budget deck back in the day. I ended up picking it up. It was like a really good value. Claimer Harry also I do want to talk about, just because the market price for this is going up too. It is used in Fenrir, it is used in premium in general. Market price 425, listings going for a little bit above that. For $5, not terrible. This was a card that you could pick up for a couple bucks a couple days ago, a month ago. Has now turned into an above a $5 card, a $5 and above kind of card right there. So very interesting to see that. Last card over here was, I think it was Claimer Harry. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I had anything past that. Sorry for the double tap there, but thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a really long one. Let me know if you think I missed anything down below. And again, if you are enjoying the content, maybe leave a like on the video, possibly consider subscribing to the channel. Definitely appreciate all the love that you guys are showing me. Feels really good to do this. Feels really good to just be talking about this with you guys. And I love looking at the market, love discussing this stuff. So let me know down below. Thank you very much. This is Alex from Alex CFE signing out.